Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is the Hot Corner, coronavirus quarantine version, I guess. We're here with the co-host Ramon Cruz. Say what's up, Ramon.
How's it going, guys?
So, Mike Alfinez, Paul Bruno,
Yo.
and Brandon El Equipito Alvarez.
Yeah.
Of course, my name is Danny Rowland. We're gonna be talking about a couple of topics here. So I'm gonna hand it over to Brandon. Brandon's gonna be talking about a little bit. Actually, he's gonna be talking a little bit about what we're gonna be speaking up about today.
All right, today's topic, we're going to be going over our predictions of what's going to be, hopefully, our AL and NL Cy Young Award predictions. We're going to go each other's prediction, and we're just going to discuss it what we think about each other's picks. So I'll go with me first. We're going to start with the American League first, and then we'll go to the National League. With my American League pick, I'm first going to say I think Garrett Cole is going to win the Cy Young for the American League.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. I just think that there are a couple of guys that might give him a run for his money. You know, actually, there's a couple of teammates of his that might give him a run for his money if they could stay healthy. You know, but you still got to think about Justin Verlander being in the same league as him. I mean, they're not teammates anymore, but you got to think about Justin Verlander. And in New York, I mean, I would love to see this kid develop because I think he's Cy Young material. But Severino,
gotta stay healthy first, man.
He's injured, though. He's injured. He's just having Tommy John surgery this year.
Of course. But that's what I'm saying. If he was, you know, that he's not a prediction of mine because I understand that he's gonna have Tommy John surgery. Which, by the way, you know, you guys took a big L over there in Boston, man, with Chris Sale going down the knife, man.
Well, welcome to my club, Brandon.
Tip of the hat.
I mean, what? You know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
you know,
it happens.
I'm
gonna say, look, once the Red Sox traded away Price and they traded away Mookie Betts, I think they kind of knew, look, the guy that they got managing him now really isn't the guy who they wanted to manage him anyway.
Right.
I think they were like, you know what, for that, get the surgery this year.
Yeah, right.
Maybe
exactly.
you eat it for a year, and then you come back next year. I don't think.
Try to see what you get and pieces you could build around.
Well, I think that's the whole. I think that's exactly what they're thinking of. You know, shut them down early, and just put your hopes on next year. To be quite honest with you, I'm gonna go out on a limb right now, and I'm gonna say that was going to be my Cy Young pick as well. It was gonna be Garrett Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that would be agreeing with Brandon and Danny as of right now. That was my pick, Garrett Cole as well. There's probably a handful in the American League that you could go ahead and pick right now to win the Cy Young Award, such as Justin Verlander, Chris Hill, like you said, is injured. Corey Kluber, let's see what kind of season he has with the Rangers now. Lucas Giolito, he had a heck of a season last year with the White Sox. But
he had a terrible second half.
Zach Greinke could have another great season, but it's just a handful of players right now. If Garrett Cole steps up and has the same numbers that he had with the Astros, then we could have a Cy Young award with the Yankees.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's like a distance in the terms of the tier that Garrett Cole is right now. Like he's such a dominant. He's like probably one of the dominant pitchers in the American League right now. Next, I'm gonna mention another one, but later we'll get onto that.
Oh,
but we'll save that. But go ahead, Raymond.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that when you look, I mean, really, it's going to be a 3-horse race. It's different in the National League. You got a bunch of options in the National League.
Yeah.
In the American League, you got Garrett Cole, you got Justin Verlander, and you got Morton from the Rays.
No,
that's really.
Yeah.
I forgot about Charlie
Morton.
No.
Go ahead, Mike.
Here's what's going to help. Wait a minute. Hold on. Here's what's going to help. What's going to help Garrett Cole is that he's going to the Yankees, and their bullpen, barring major, any more injuries, all those wins, there's just no. The East isn't as good as this year, right? The East isn't as good. The Yankees are still going to have the best bullpen. And when you look in the American League, how many teams in the American League would you say are like good?
Elite, I think you're trying to say. Because there's a difference between an elite team that can compete.
Astros. What are we saying? We're saying Yankees, Astros.
Astros, you got the Twins?
Yeah. They can hit. They don't have enough pitching for me.
No, not at all. They have Berrios. They have Berrios, which, by the way, I think could be a legit contender for a Cy Young. If he does well in the second half, he's always faded in the second half.
Yeah, last year oh my gosh.
But the kid is a monster when he's on, man. The guy's really good. He's got a really, really, really good curveball, which I think is one of his completion pitches, man. And that thing is so sick as it dies at the end. And that's definitely a strikeout pitch for him. But can he have a good second half?
Look, Justin Verlander's 34, 35? Do we think he can repeat that again?
The guy's throwing gas, though, bro. The guy's in the 7th or 8th inning, throwing 96, 97.
I see him going decline, though, this year. I think this is where he takes a dip. So you have Garrett Cole as your pick, Raymond?
Yes. Yeah. There's just right now the National League, I think, will be a better discussion, but American League.
All right. So, Mikey, who do you have as your prediction for the American League Cy Young?
Given the fact that we have the best team in baseball, I'm going to go. I will say Garrett Cole, but I am leaning towards Corey. Well, I always get the last name wrong, but I'm going with Corey Kluber to have a bounce back year. Yeah.
Kluber.
Yep.
No L.
Yeah.
Kluber.
Kluber. There you go.
Wow, really?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you guys think about
And
that?
by the way, Carlos Beltran, when he was coaching with the Mets, he had allowed his facility to be used by Jose Barrios, whatever, and Edwin Diaz. So if Pedro Martinez is out there helping these guys, I can, as much as I don't like him as a New York Yankee fan, he still was one of the best pitchers of all time. So,
okay, I'm going to translate that for you non-gringo people. He meant Jose Berrios and Edwin Diaz. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I apologize.
There you go. There you go. Barrios. The American way.
Bro, you called the man Jose Burrito.
Barrios. Listen, when he lives up to the second half, when he lives up to expectations,
We all agree. Yeah.
he will get my name.
All right, so you're saying Garrett Cole, right, Mike?
So all 5 of us have Garrett
No,
Cole.
I'm gonna exit.
No, he said
Garrett
Corey Kluber.
Yeah.
He said Corey Kluber.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on next. I think we all have that set. For the National League, Danny, if you could say your prediction first, who do you think is going to win the Cy Young for the National League?
Jacob DeGrom.
Okay. No surprise there.
There is no denying that.
Yep.
Jacob DeGrom, man.
That man.
That guy's an absolute animal.
Paul?
I'm like Mikey. I'm going Jacob DeGrom, but I'm leaning towards he might be a sleeper, Walker Buehler.
Okay.
Bueller's decent pick. He's a decent pick.
Especially with the team that they got. He should get a lot of W's. He's a great pitcher.
Yep, he is.
But besides unlike the American League, the National League have so many animals and pitchers. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Raymond, who's your pick for that?
Yeah, look, of course, Jacob DeGrom is the best pitcher.
Their shirt gives it away.
But nobody. But here's the thing. I think only Randy Johnson won it 3 years in a row. That might be it.
Yeah.
Or Glavine may have won it 3 years in a row. Look, in the National League alone, you got Strasburg, you got Soroka, you have Ryu. Wait, is Ryu?
He's in the Blue Jays. Blue Jays.
Okay. When you just look, there's just so many. Corbin. I'm just saying you have a lot more people in the National League.
You forgot to mention you forgot to mention the ace of the not Strasburg.
Scherzer.
Scherzer.
Max Scherzer.
That's what I'm saying.
Strasburg.
There's so many. The National League just have so many more people that can pick. Look, Jacob deGrom has won 2 Cy Youngs with the Mets having the worst bullpen maybe ever.
And you're talking about that ERA.
No, it's just Jerry's Familia.
Average. The bullpen, if their bullpen is average, Jacob deGrom is going to win 20 games.
Yes, I'll give you that. But
If their bullpen is average.
How are they going to win 20 games if they got no batting? Nobody's swinging right now.
No, they got a pretty good lineup.
Paul, we've spoken about this on the show before, and I wouldn't say that, man. They got a couple of guys that can swing the stick over there, bro.
Well, if you go back, you look a lot. 90% of Jason deGrom's games, he was winning into the 8th inning.
Yes.
So.
I left out the other guy. The best pitcher in the second half of the season was Jack Flaherty from the Cardinals.
That's who I got.
He led. I want to say him and deGrom were 1 and 2 in ERA and strikeouts and WAR the second half of the year.
What is your pick, Raymond?
It's Jacob deGrom, of course.
Okay, all right.
How about you, Mike?
I'm just saying in the National League, it's a harder pick, though. Is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Easy.
We knew
it's
that.
an easy pick.
We knew that. We knew that when we first started discussing this. Well, we knew that in the National League it was not gonna be as simple to pick one as it was, for the American League. There's just one standout in the American League.
In the National League, it's just like the American League, though. You have three top pitchers in the American League, and you have 3 top pitchers in the NL. And I'm going to correct Raymond a little bit. I think that Max Scherzer is actually on his way out. He gave up a lot last year. Wasn't that effective? And I'm going to say that Jack Flaherty is going to go into that second best pitcher in the National League.
Can we agree? Can we agree to say that Steven Strasburg was a better pitcher than Max Scherzer in the World Series?
Yes.
Oh yes, much better. Yeah,
it's not like
better.
Max Scherzer was not good though in the playoffs for them.
Hey, no.
Strasburg
But
was
Strasburg was not
just
much
lights
better.
up. Yeah,
Scherzer was
he
their ace.
elevated his game.
Scherzer did his job, but I think Strasburg. Yeah. Wow, he.
And don't say playoffs because Anibal Sanchez was better than Max Scherzer in the playoffs.
Yes, yeah.
Numbers don't lie.
Yo, didn't Scherzer make the list?
No, it was that 1 year versus. It was that 1 year versus the Cubs. I remember when he gave up when he made that comeback when the Cubs made a comeback off him. I remember that. It was like 2017.
Who was with the Cubs?
Yeah,
Who was with the Cubs?
No, that Scherzer when he was versing the Cubs in the NLCS.
Oh.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't remember Scherzer being a Cub, but
No.
Which, by the way, talking about the Cubs, you had one of the best pitchers of all time on that team still. But like I told you guys before previously on the show, that whole friendship between John Lester and David Ross is not. So if I didn't think David Ross was a good coach, I would say that John Lester would be still in the top 5 best pitchers in baseball.
Let the guy coach for a year, Mike.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, so with my pick for the National League, Cy Young, I am actually going to, and I prepared this before I really thought about it. I went with the numbers and trajectory. I was actually going to go with Walker Buehler. I know Jacob deGrom is the best pitcher in baseball right now, but Walker Buehler actually had him. I was picking before. I just see that trend. He's just electric, and he's younger. So, I don't know. I think this year he's going to take that big step, assuming we have a baseball season.
So you're picking Buehler?
Yeah, I'm picking Buehler.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we have a baseball season, man. This is going to suck. They're still playing baseball in Korea.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I will say this, though, man. I hope there's baseball in December.
There's not going to be baseball in December. And the reason why I say that is because football starts in September.
Football, basketball.
They're going to have basketball. There is absolutely no way that they're going to be playing baseball when there's snowing outside, bro. There's no way.
Well, you're saying basketball. Basketball might still baseball, basketball, and football might start at the same
I
time
think
if we
I think
continue.
America can handle
No,
that.
they're well. First of all, baseball and football would be starting out preseason if that's the case. Versus the NBA would be returning to an already being played season. You know what I'm saying? So to be quite honest with you, if they wanted to just say, well, you know what, screw the rest of the season, let's go right into playoffs, they could do that. You know?
True.
Well, let's hope we get at least 150 games in there.
But this is a hot corner. We're not talking about basketball here.
Nah, that's gonna be cut either way, so it doesn't matter.
I think we're lucky if they can get 100 games in.
No, there'll definitely be 100 games in.
If they can get 100 games in,
I'll be happy with a 75-game season.
No, you're crazy. That's
Half
half
season,
the
yeah.
season.
Yeah.
You'll see teams.
How many?
I
in,
just
the,
want to
in
know if
there.
my ticket could still be used. That's all I want.
How many? How many games do you think they're gonna get if they start, like, let's say in June?
Half.
You know what I'm saying?
Half the season.
they make it a half
They
season.
make it half
They
season.
probably play what, 21 games a month. You know, so
Right.
Because if there was a lockout, they'd do the same thing.
It'll probably start after the All-Star break.
no, that's
too late.
That's way too late. That's way
Isn't
too
that
late.
like
And
in
then
June?
they would have to. They would
Isn't
have
that
to
in
push it
June?
down.
Isn't the All-Star
July.
break in June?
July.
No, July.
Second week of July.
That's another statement right there. Could the Yankees come in and start cold? You don't. If you're gonna shorten in the season, a lot of these guys are gonna have to.
No, but
into
you know
the
what?
season
A
hot,
lot of
man.
these guys need to be putting in work right now. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not come in cold, and and they need to really and I think there's a lot of them that are home. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's a mistake. You know, and I don't know whether they're home, but they're still going through their workouts and stuff at home and whatnot, because a lot of them have like
With
home
Nerf
gyms
blasters.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that Wilson Contreras was hitting Nerf balls?
Headed Nerf balls.
Yeah.
Nerf balls.
Do what you
That's
got to do.
Alrighty, guys. So that was our predictions for the AL and NL Cy Youngs. Now we are going to discuss the report that came out yesterday for Bleacher Report. According to Joel Reuter, he listed his top 25 pitchers in baseball, but we're going to name the top 10 and go over the list and see if we agree. His top 10 list is Jacob deGrom, Garrett Cole at 2, Max Scherzer at 3, Justin Verlander at 4, Steven Strasburg at 5, Shane Bieber at 6, Clayton Kershaw at 7, Jack Flaherty at 8, Walker Buehler 9, and Luis Castillo 10th. Guys, does anyone have a problem with this list?
Yeah, from 6 to 10.
Let's start with number 10. Let's start with number 10. All right, what are your thoughts on Luis Castillo being number 10?
No,
His
Luis
first
Castillo's
year?
a way better pitcher. Nah, but he's a way. I mean, we're talking about active. We're talking about active pitchers that are doing well, that belong in the top 10. Now, I don't think that Luis Castillo belongs at 10. You know,
No.
He's been performing well. You know, and I don't think he belongs at 10. I think maybe he's like an 8 or 7. I don't think 10.
Who?
So you think he should be higher?
Luis Castillo. I
Oh,
think he should
no.
be higher.
No.
Oh wow,
Really?
that surprised me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
you-
think he
so-
should be.
So you think that Castillo's better than Jack Flaherty, and you also think that he's also deserving to be in the top 10?
Is he
'Cause I'm
higher? Well, let me ask you this: is he higher than him in the rotation?
Who?
Luis Castillo. He plays with the
He's
Cardinals
the
as well,
ace.
doesn't he?
He's,
No,
the
he
Reds.
plays for the Reds.
Reds.
Luis Castillo's with the Reds. You're right.
He's the ace of the Reds. Yeah. He had one good year.
I can go to the Reds right now and be their ace.
Yeah, I don't.
I just think that the dude's nasty, bro. The guy can pitch.
No, he's nice.
Yeah,
He's nice.
he's nice, but he gives up a lot of the long ball. I mean,
You just said it
his ERA
earlier.
is almost 4.
You just said it about 30 seconds ago. It's about Zach Wheeler that he hasn't played a complete season. This is only Castillo's full season where you get to see him. You know.
Yeah, 32 games.
I know he's been in the
We're
league
talking about two different things though. We're talking about being out because you're injury prone. Zach Wheeler's injury prone. Zach Wheeler has had an opportunity to pitch for 5 years now and hasn't pitched one full season. That's what I'm talking about. That should not even be in comparison with a kid that just came into the league. You know what I'm saying? So I get your point where I shouldn't be gauging gauging performance based on 1 year of eligibility or 1 year of playing time. But at the same time, that's all we can gauge on. And the kid's hot right now, or the kid's doing well now,
What were you gonna say?
Now is my assessment. I'm sorry to cut you off. If my assessment from him be moved up from 10 to 7 or 8, it's yet to be determined. Let's just leave it like that.
Okay.
Fair enough.
God, they put Scherzer at 3. Scherzer's not even the best pitcher on his own team. It's Strasburg right now. Like I would have DeGrom, Cole, and probably Flaherty, and it's the same thing. Clayton Kershaw hasn't been the best pitcher on the Dodgers in like 3 years.
We're gonna discuss first number 10 if we think.
Okay, I just thought in general. My bad. Yeah, that's reasonable.
You're not welcome back on the show, Raymond.
Yeah. 10. Okay, Brandon, are you arguing that somebody shouldn't be in there?
No, that's if what do you think? That's on that. If you think Luis Castillo should be 10.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't know.
You don't have a problem with him being 10.
As opposed to, like I said, Hyun-Jin Ryu isn't even on here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would take him off, and I would at least put Ryu on there.
Yeah, the 10th spot. Those kind of spots are always interchangeable. You could change really anybody. You could put Jose Barrios in there. Paul, what do you think about Luis Castillo being number 10?
I'm all right. Like you said, there's other guys that could be up there. You could throw Patrick Corbin there. You could throw Zach Greinke there. Luis Castillo, he still has a lot to prove to be at number 10.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Mikey, I see you. I think we already
Look, the guys he left off. I think he even left Nola off, which Nola's better than Castillo. But if I'll even take, to be honest with you, I think that if you're gonna go back at pitchers that he had under him, you what's the Tampa Bay Rays?
Charlie Morton.
No.
Blake
Greslow.
Blake Snell.
Yeah. No, Greslow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's better than Or for example, Raymond just said it even better. Ryu had a great year last year, man, and he was second on Cy Young, right?
Yeah, it was DeGrom and then Ryu.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wasn't that Ryu's best season since he's been with the?
Yes,
I think.
And we're still, bro. Listen, and we're talking about guys that have been in the league for X amount of years. Yeah. How long has Ryu been in the league? And that's the only good season that he's had.
He only had one good year.
Whoa! No, he did not.
Players.
No.
We're talking about the year that he had last year. No.
Bro, he's another injury prone player, bro.
Yep.
Yeah. He comes back. Everybody knew. No. Wait. Before you start.
I'm sorry, Dan.
Damn. Hey, everybody knew what Ryu's ceiling was. Everybody knew that he had a high ceiling, and then he had great potential, and the guy at times looked like Cy Young material, but he could not stay on the field. He couldn't stay healthy. And last year was his first year that he was actually healthy. He came back, he pitched well, and really showed everybody what their expectations of him were. So, you know what? We can say that Luis Castillo and Ryu can both get dumped off of this list, because to be quite honest with you, they've only had one season each to show people what they could do.
All right, coming in at number 9, we have Walker Buehler. What do you guys think of Buehler being number 9?
I think Walker Buehler should be higher on the list, but the fact that he's in the top 10, but he's in the top 10. I think he should be. He could be top 5, top 7. I think he should be higher for whatever it's worth.
I mean, his
Speaking of which,
stuff's electric though. He's one of the best pitchers. Go ahead, Danny.
No. I was just gonna say, in the spirit of moving along, I'm sick and tired of talking about Bueller. Who's number 8?
All right, coming in at number 8, we have Jack Flaherty. Mike, let's get that started with you, Mike.
Stud muffin.
Well,
Kid's a stud muffin.
yeah, he deserves to be top 3, man.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
that good,
Top
man.
3?
He's really good.
Wow.
Top 3, not top 4.
Top 5,
Maybe top 5. Top 5.
Yeah.
You
Top
just leave it
3.
at that. Top 5.
He's better than Max Scherzer at the moment. If we're going with the moment, better.
Listen, Max Scherzer shouldn't be in the top 3. What are you talking about?
and right now he's also better than Justin Verlander. And
He should
take
be-
that to the bank.
He shouldn't replace anybody in the top 3. I think I think
Jack
top 5.
Flaherty, Jack Flaherty was better.
I think top 5. But you're talking about Max
I don't
Scherzer,
think he's
bro.
a top 3. I think we're kind of underestimating Max Scherzer a little bit. Just a
Yeah.
little
We'll
bit.
see this up.
Just a little
Well,
bit.
if we
I think-
have baseball again.
Damn Corona.
In my opinion, I think Flaherty should be top 5. He should definitely be over Shane Bieber. Definitely.
Yeah, the only thing that he has good is that he's just his cousin.
But
For real?
from five to 1, you still got Rosberg, and you still got a whole bunch of other guys.
Okay, I didn't know.
Raymond, what?
That's not a common last name.
I'm sorry,
I'm
bro.
keeping
I'm
that in the
sorry.
video too.
I'm sorry, Paul.
No, you're good. You're good.
Like,
This man was like, for real?
you never know.
Oh man, yes, that was fun.
Yeah, for real?
Bieber is not a common last name.
All right, number 7, we have Clayton Kershaw. What do you guys think about that?
Lower.
Lower, really?
Yeah, I think he should be 10.
Yeah, he still belongs in the top 10 though. I think.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Top 10.
Just not 7.
No.
In the season, he's a heck of a pitcher. In the playoff, he's just down the
You
drain.
think he should be number 6?
Yeah.
No. I think he should be lower, maybe 10, 11 around there. I would say top 15 for sure. Top 10.
Really?
Yeah,
don't know.
it's just he's been having back problems for the last few years now. He just hasn't been the same.
I don't know.
I
He
mean-
must have back problems every time they go to the playoffs because he stinks.
And to his defense, when in the World Series, his numbers at home were good, but then of course we're going back.
In Houston, yeah.
They were probably cheating.
Yeah, exactly, right?
They were probably banging on the
Yeah,
trash can so he
Gurriel.
could throw a curveball.
No one knew that curveball was coming in inside, and just. I still think.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
That's crazy.
he had
You
a
know
good
what?
season.
I actually saw that hit or that home run from Gurriel.
You could just see
Holy
it.
cow.
You can see it. Like he was dialed in that he knew what was coming. It was crazy, especially from Clayton Kershaw. Curveball inside. Come on. Especially at that moment. No. All right. So number 6, we have Shane Bieber. Apparently, the cousin of Justin Bieber. We're just joking, guys. What do you guys think about that? Shane Bieber at 6. Not.
He should be way lower.
No, he should be way lower.
Should be. I would say top 15, not number 6.
Top
No.
15, not 10, no.
He had a good season last year, and if we're going based off of last year, he was a top 10
No,
pitcher last year.
we are not going based off of last year, Mike. What I was saying was that perhaps the person that wrote this article went off of what we're not basing our opinions on what happened last year. I'm saying the person that wrote the article might have based their opinion on what happened last year.
Oh, okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
we're saying what if we think those pitchers deserve to be on that spot. Not of last year, just the eye test. 'Cause if we know if they're a good pitcher or not.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
he's a
I
good
don't
pitcher.
think Bieber should be 6.
No, he's not 6.
No.
No, he's not 6.
No.
No. Again, 2 seasons. He has more to prove.
Yeah, I don't,
If you don't have Luis Castillo or Bueller above him with 1 year more experience, no. And his ERA last year was
Exactly.
3.28.
Which
Yeah,
lets me further know that the person that wrote this article is basing their opinions on what happened last year.
Yeah.
You know, because they can't possibly be talking about career wise. You know,
no.
And analytically, who's the top 10? That actually would be even more of a better conversation to have, is who analytically, if you're gonna go by stats, is the top 10. And you're going to see a lot of surprises of people that you wouldn't even put in your top 25.
Right. All right.
You know?
So, number 5, we have Steven Strasburg. Number 5.
Yeah.
Could be higher. It could be higher.
No, that could be. Should be higher.
I think.
No way.
I would say top 3. Top 3 for me.
Top 3.
I would say that.
You're talking bad about
Mike,
you having back problems and being away from the season half of the time. Steven Strasburg the same way about having his arm all the time.
You have a good point.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Here's another one.
Here.
Here's another one. Shut up.
Listen, if you're going based off World Series and playoffs.
No, you're right. You have a point. You have a point. But I personally think that Steven Strasburg, you know, and here's the thing. There's no. I'm not trying to beat down on Asian players, you know, but Asian players aren't durable. You don't get Ichiros from Asia. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I think that Ichiro is
An exception.
Is a unicorn. Because the Asian players, they don't last very long. You know what I'm saying? And
Tanaka has.
And Tanaka, there was a scare with Tanaka now that they thought that there was a tear in his UCL early in his career.
Yeah.
And he might still be battling that. You know?
He ain't battling that.
And another guy that you could talk about that lasted, you know, a couple of years here and there was Matsui. Yeah, Hideki Matsui. You know. But outside of that, you know, you start talking about some of these Asian players.
You forgot about Daisuke.
Yo, bro, Daisuke, and he's pitching back. He's pitching back over there, and he's perfectly fine. I don't know what it is when they get over here. He's pitching back there perfectly fine.
Daisuke was so garbage.
1 year,
talking about the gyro ball. Talking about the gyro ball and all this other crap.
In 2007.
What? Hey, Jason Varitek was giving them signs like this.
Dude,
trying to solve an
they
equation.
paid $150 million just to talk to that guy.
I didn't know you needed to know calculus to give signs to Daisuke Matsuzaka. He was over there like, you need to know sign.
Yeah, he only had 2 good years in the league. That's it. His first 2 years, he was amazing. After that,
I
don't know.
That's a fastball. That's the fastball.
He helped us win the World Series, though. 2007. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Moving on to number 4, we have Justin Verlander. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Top 20 maybe? Top 20? Top 20 maybe? Nah, I don't think we should crack the top 10.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I know I was talking to Matt Pappas about him, and I think I have a romance with him. You know, or a bro crush on him. But the dude, you know, it's like Ray was saying earlier, he's on the decline.
I see him declining big time this
year.
So
he's on the decline.
Oh, yeah, now, yeah.
He's on the decline. I mean, the dude could still throw Chad, though. I mean, he's chooching it. You know, but he is on the decline.
He turned 37 this year.
And, you know what? But he pitched another no-hitter last year. You know, I mean, you know, the guy can still do it. I don't think he should be top 10.
And won the Cy Young
Definitely
last year.
top 20 somewhere. Definitely in the top 20. He won the Cy Young?
He won the Cy Young last year.
Sí, haciendo pillería.
I mean, 2
Cheating.
Well, the hitters.
5'8".
The hitters were not the pitchers.
21 and 6.
Yeah, but you know what? Can we all agree in saying that somebody would pay more attention to Justin Verlander if his team is doing well?
But yeah, I see Verlander on a decline this year. Say he's a top 10. No, I'll actually put him in my top 10 until he actually shows me this year that he's
Oh, of course.
on the decline, okay, he could be on my
I
top
want
10.
to.
He could
I
still
want
be
to
in
say
my
top 20. To me, top 20, close to top 10, but not top 10.
Wow. Okay.
You got a lot of studs coming up, man. A lot of stud bumpers, bro. You know
Justin
what I'm saying?
Verlander is on the list. And the list is bad for pitchers who can't not perform in the playoffs, but perform very good in the regular season. He did not show up for any help.
He's on what list?
On the list that you suck in. You're a great regular season player, but when it comes to playoffs, you're trash.
Yeah,
And Justin
those viewers
Verlander
were watching.
Yeah, Clayton Kershaw is the mayor of that town.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Justin Verlander's right behind him.
Yeah, he's the vice mayor.
Yeah. I would keep him in top 5 just because
5?
he's performed every year.
Yeah, fair.
that
No,
he's,
fair enough.
You know,
Fair enough. Again,
Who?
I think he's gonna
Verlander?
decline. Yeah,
Yeah.
Verlander, I think he's gonna decline. And again, he won the Cy Young last year. That's impressive. 36 years old, and again, how Danny was saying, just still throwing heat. I mean, until he
That's throwing
proves.
gas, man.
And
Hey,
it was,
you know,
the final was a toss-up between him and Garrett Cole.
Yeah, competing between teammates. Yeah, that's
I
cool.
also want to put this out here. Correct me if I'm wrong, and you can also.
You probably will.
No. I'm being serious when it comes to this. You can write to me on our Twitter channel or our YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Justin Verlander had a better season last year than he did when he won the MVP. That's a stat.
Statistically?
Yes.
Really?
Go. Yes. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I checked the numbers, and he had a better season.
All right, coming out at number 3, we have Max Scherzer. I think we're gonna have a lot to talk about this. All right, Mike. Let's start with you, Mike. I want to hear your thoughts. Max Scherzer.
I'm not. I'm not even. He's not even in my top 5, man. Unfortunately.
Yeah, he needs to get dropped down.
Yeah, the last 2 years he's been shaky. I know he's put up good numbers,
and he threw a no-hitter.
I mean,
yeah, but
okay, but when you say shaky,
almost a perfect game.
When you say
almost
shaky,
a perfect game, bro.
In the regular season, though, like he's okay. This counting postseason. Regular season, if you go back, he's been in the top 5 Cy Young conversation for 7 years straight, and he's come out the lowest is top 5, and that was like 5 and 6 years ago. The last 4 years, he won the Cy Young 3 and 4 years ago. Came out top 3 last year, top 2 the year before. So
yeah,
I mean,
I love Max Scherzer. I love him. The only pitcher who he's in the Mets division. I freaking love Max Scherzer. I just think that, Father Time, he is a good pitcher. He is still a great pitcher. But I just don't know if he's a top 5 pitcher right now.
Father Time is undefeated, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat with him and Verlander, though. It's like,
they're
for
both
me,
the
they're
same.
still my top 5, but until I see to where that dip, I mean,
but
he's still one of the best pitchers, though.
But you've seen Max Scherzer get hit a little bit later in games versus if Justin Verlander is on, he is on.
Still throwing 100 in the ninth inning.
Yes. Still throwing gas. So
yeah.
that is the difference between Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander, is that Justin Verlander can has the ability to stay consistent throughout the game versus not getting that gradual decline. And we're human, bro. He's gonna get tired, But you see Justin Verlander not having that gradual decline, and he's still grunting it out and doing what he has to do, and still throwing gas late in games versus like Max Scherzer. I've seen it myself against a subpar Marlins team, and they just work him, and eighth inning, you think he's gonna pitch a shutout. All of a sudden, the Marlins went 2-1.
Just explode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think Scherzer belongs there. Like Brandon said, he hasn't proved himself that he's not able to be there. The last 4 or 5 years, his ERA has been under 3.
Yeah.
He had an iffy record last year, 11-7, but before that, 10-7, 16-6, 20-7. So he's been up there pitching wise. So I think he's there with top 5. Yeah.
All right, moving on. We're gonna discuss number 2, which we have Garrett Cole. And you know what? For just to speed things along, and I think we really can't disagree. Number 1 is also Jacob DeGrom. What do you guys think about the placement of that?
Bro, 1 and 2, 1 and 2,
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
I think is
yeah, I don't think that is. Yeah, that 1 and 2.
Interchangeable. If somebody told me Garrett Cole 1 and Jacob DeGrom 2, I would have no problem arguing that. At this point, they're clearly the 2 best pitchers in baseball.
Yeah.
What about, you know what? And then we're talking about pitchers like that. What about Carlos Carrasco, bro?
What?
Cookies
Carlos Carrasco.
Cookies
with the Indians,
he got cancer.
Yeah,
I know. But like, is he back pitching or?
Yeah,
I think he didn't come back, right? No, not yet.
No, he's back. He came back after the All-Star game.
Yeah, I thought he did come back. I thought he came back briefly, but then went back on the IL.
No, he was in the relief role.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. Because I could have sworn I saw him back. I remember he did leave for a while. But...
Man, that dude was a good pitcher. He's a really good pitcher. Yeah. And it's too bad that
he's really good.
He's had to go through, you know. But you know what? I'm actually excited to see what what Corey Kluber is going to do with a different team.
Yeah.
I think that the change of environment is going to do well for him. Hopefully he picks it back up, man, because Corey Kluber is. And to be quite honest with you, I still have that in my mind, and I think that World Series really damaged him, where he was overused by Terry Francona. Yeah, well, he was just overused, man. The guy started 3 games. He got tattooed in the 3rd game.
Yeah.
And I get it. That's A stuff, and and Madison Bumgarner is probably sitting at home. Put your big boy pants on, boy. But I just not everybody can be Madison Bumgarner. So I really think that he got overused in that World Series, because then every year after, I think it was 2 years ago. That World Series was 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
2016.
4.
Okay, yeah, 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
4 years ago?
About to be 4 this year.
Well, time goes by, man.
Yeah, so it's 3 years ago. 3 years ago, man, and that guy hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
He hasn't been the same since that World Series.
I mean, the year after is when he won the Cy Young, and the year after he did pretty good, but I don't know what happened last year. He just got injured.
He's going to have a good season with Mike Minor there. And he's got Lance Lynn. He's got some really good veterans who he doesn't. When he was with the Indians, he had to be the head honcho there, because Cookie and Salazar were consistent.
Danny Salazar,
who's a free agent. The Marlins need to give that guy a call.
I think it's gonna take a lot of pressure off of Kluber, not being the main guy, because you got Mike Miners and you got Lance Lynch, so it takes a little bit of pressure off of Corey Kluber.
Yeah, you think he had pressure? You think he had pressure with Cleveland? No?
Of course, because he was the ace.
But he had Trevor Bauer though, which is a good pitcher, and he had Cookie and he had Danny Salazar. Bro, he had good pitchers over there.
Hey, dude.
Until last year.
Yeah, talking about it. What
do you mean with Bauer?
Bauer, they that guy.
The ball in the stands.
That's why I was like.
He threw the ball into the stands, bro. That was crazy.
I would have gotten mad too if I was Francona, yeah.
What? Get mad, bro. He would have been like, you were not starting for the next. But he doesn't have that authority. But he does, I guess.
No, he
but,
got.
He's not gonna be like, oh yeah, you're gonna get benched for the next 4 games.
They shipped him off, bro.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. I'll sit for the next 4 games because I start on the 5th day.
Well, he got traded that same week or that same day, right? Something like that.
Yeah, that same week. During a couple of days, he got shipped off.
Hey Paul, what do you sound like a stormtrooper, bro?
What?
You sound like a stormtrooper, bro. Yeah, you sound like a stormtrooper, bro.
Hey, I will say this about Trevor Bauer though. Trevor Bauer went to the Reds and couldn't make it past 3 innings.
Yeah, he started struggling.
and I have a good friend of mine. His name is Trace, and you know, maybe I think last year, or the year before, he told me that Trevor Bauer on a given team could be an ace, and I don't see him being he's a good 4 or 5 starter. He gives
I
up
wouldn't say 4 or 5, probably middle of the rotation guy. I would say middle of the rotation. That 4 or 5 guys are just like your mop up guys, bro. You know, like your guys that are giving.
Guy.
He's not a mop up guy.
I think he'll bounce back this year.
Yeah.
He gives up a long ball every game, you know?
True.
And then he goes on his podcast right after, you know? Like, dude, you know, get mad, be good.
Podcasts are important.
They are, but not when you have a bad game and then you get on.
Why not? Maybe that's your happiness.
Hey, just want to talk about it.
Maybe your podcast is gonna is gonna help you, man. It's, you know, maybe that's your therapy, bro.
Yeah.
Then he goes on there and he starts talking about Manny Machado, how he's happy that he's out of the American League, and now you get traded to the National League. You know?
I mean, he said that so people would think he didn't feel bad. That's why he said that. He knew he felt some type of way when he traded.
You know, let's talk about the podcast, bro. I mean,
that's a very good point.
Yeah. Anyways, that's gonna do it all for us. We hope that you enjoyed. We're gonna try to shoot out more content. We know the baseball season is still yet to be determined, but we're gonna try our best again to shoot out more content for you guys. We actually have ideas to do some skits, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe and you like and you leave a comment. Social media accounts are down below in the description. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys in our next episode. Peace.